Could be. We don't know. But
and then The Loveless. That doesn't sound happy either.
That doesn't sound good. Alien 3. That could be quite fun. I don't know. Anyway, let's not give away all the things we're gonna. Let's not give away.
I mean, I'm just looking. I don't think it's going to be happy until like November.
It's not going to get better. Yes, this is our continuation of the Co-Direction podcast, in which we discuss weirdly really sad films. So this is Andrea Arnold entry.
Why are they all so sad?
I said it before. I think I might have a slight idea why it might be, but this is Red Road. And it's very sad. I'll quickly just say what it says. I wonder if you are a first-time director and you want to get your stuff noticed, I wonder if it's easier to create, not necessarily easier, but I wonder if a popular approach to generating buzz around your first bit of stuff that's, hopefully a launching pad for you to get recognised and stuff. Perhaps the darker and more shocking your stuff is, the more people will talk about it. I wonder if that might just be a tactic that people employ. Having said that, Rob Reiner did Spinal Tap, so...
Yeah, he really disproves the theory, doesn't he?
But yeah, Red Road then. What is it? It's a film. It's set in Scotland.
Glasgow, specifically. Because I remember going to visit my gran when we were kids and driving past, like, the big tower blocks in Glasgow. It's how you knew you were there. I thought you'd sleep all the way from Edinburgh, get to Glasgow and be like, wake up and be like, oh look at the big fucking flats, we must be nearly there.
Apparently they are the at the time they were built, they were the tallest residential buildings in Europe.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure they've been demolished now.
Oh really?
I think so. I mean, I don't know.
I was about to say, well, it looks like they can't do a sequel, but it turns out they've done a sequel. So.
Are they actually?
Yeah. In doing my research for this film, I realised that there is a film called Donkeys, in which Kate Dickie returns as Jackie.
That's interesting. Is this before or after she is Lysa Arryn?
It's the same year, because it was 2010. I think Game of Thrones came out in 2010. So yeah, Kate Dickie, let's be honest, she's fucking great.
Yeah, she's a fucking good actress. Like,
she gets about as well. Like, you recognise her for a lot of stuff. I recognised her from The Witch, which is a really, really brilliant atmospheric horror film.
I'm not gonna lie, I recognised her from Game of Thrones.
What about Last Jedi? She's in Last Jedi for about a second. She's
okay,
got one line.
Well, she has a line.
Yeah, she's on the Dreadnought. Is she on the Dreadnought? Yeah, she's on the Dreadnought right at the start.
Oh, then she dies, I assume.
I mean, presumably, it does get blown up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this stars Kate Dickie and Tony Curran. Tony Curran, who I first became aware of in Underworld Evolution, in which he plays an ancient vampire.
Oh, see, I recognised him from Doctor Who. It was Vincent Van Gogh.
He was, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite Doctor Who episodes. So I was looking at the screen and I was like, I think it's you, but you're saying cunt a lot. So I don't know if they'd let you be on Doctor Who.
Oh, he's in Thor 2. And he plays Thor. Who I didn't know. Oh yeah, and he's in Caliber as well, which is a film I watched a couple of months ago, and you have to watch Caliber. It's phenomenal. It's got the chap from... Oh, what was it? Oh no, perhaps you don't know. Yeah, he, the lead guy, has gone on to be in Fight With My Family, which is the wrestling film, the film about Paige goes to WWE, and he plays her brother in that, and he's brilliant in Caliber. You have to see Caliber.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of thing that I wouldn't have watched.
Yeah, that's a Scottish thing. It's set in Scotland as well. Guess what? It's not very happy.
A lot of the films that come out of Scotland aren't very happy. I just look to my left, I can just see the train spotting DVDs. I'm like,
I mean, we did when I was at uni, we did talk about Scottish cinema for a lesson, because there's not really much of it, but what there is it really portrays Scotland as not the best place. But have you seen a film called The Angel Share?
Yeah, I'm 90% sure I watched it with you or my dad.
I mean, that would make sense, because me and Lisa wouldn't shut up about it a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's a sort of ish feel good. It's got feel good elements to it.
Oh, there's Sunshine and Leith. That's a pretty
that's a musical, isn't it?
Yeah, but all the music's from the Proclaimers.
That does make sense.
So it's not that bad. They just randomly burst into Proclaimers songs, which I've been to watch rugby in Scotland is a thing that happens.
To be fair, the Proclaimers, I think they've got decent songs other than 500 Miles, but everyone thinks they're a novelty act, and it's like, just play 500 Miles until I'm bored.
What?
But they got some decent stuff.
Are you making fun of How I Met Your Mother? I think my favourite Proclaimers song is they played 500 Miles in that a lot.
Did they? I don't remember that.
Yeah. It's the only song that Marshall can play in his car. Because the tape gets stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, now I remember when they do the big road trip. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, no, my favourite Proclaimers song is Over and Done With, by far and away. It's like my favourite song.
I'm not sure I've heard that one, actually.
I was about to start listening to it now, and then I was like, oh yeah, podcast.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, Andrea Arnold then. Are you familiar with her at all?
No. Well, I know that she made this really happy film called Red Road.
Other than that, the only thing that I've seen that's hers is Fish Tank, and that was the very first year that I started studying film, 2009. That was 10 years ago. That was one of the ones we studied, and it was an early performance from Michael Fassbender, who's got a massive piece. Not that you see it in Fish Tank, but you see it in Shame. Jesus Christ, it's a weapon.
She's worked on a TV show called I Love Dick, and I think it needs to be on co-pilots at some point.
She did American Honey as well, which came out a year or two ago. Oh, there you go, 2016, and that, I've heard, is very, very good.
So you think every time we do this, and I'm looking at like their filmography, and then it's like, but Red Road's so far down this list, and then I look and I'm like, short film. Okay.
That's So she, we should say that there are short films that she directed before, including one with Danny Dyer.
One of them's called Milk. Ah, cool. I clicked on the link and it's just taken me to
the bit above.
It's just taken me to a page about milk.
Wait, if we click on dog, let's see what. Yeah, no, dog, same thing happens. Let's click on wasp.
Oh no, that took me to a film.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. Oh, now I'm just looking at pictures of dogs. This podcast can fuck off.
Oh, shit.
I'm looking at dogs.
We're done, guys.
Red Road then. Red Road. It uses or applies some of the rules of the Dogma 95 style, which I'm sure you know a lot about, Rich. If you'd just like to quickly give us a brief overview of what Dogma 95 is, that would be grand. Just off the top of your head, without looking at any, clicking or anything.
It's a Danish thing.
Oh, go on.
Trying to find the relevant stuff on this.
Yeah, no, go on. You do well so far.
Do all on locations and that. Don't bring stuff with you. Just, use the stuff that's there. Hold the camera with your hands, not a crane. Natural lighting.
You're getting this. Dogma 95 was a sort of in inverted commas, a manifesto developed by Lars von Trier and Thomas Vinterberg. Lars von Trier, very, very controversial filmmaker. He's made some very odd things. He does make, some of the stuff he makes is good. Some of it is just like, what are you doing that for?
Are they happy though?
No, Jesus Christ. There's a film called Antichrist, which came out, again, about 10 years ago, which includes a woman cutting off her own clitoris, a child dying, and she talks to a fox.
That sounds like it would be right at home on this podcast, with the films that we've watched. Child death? Yeah, done that.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's interesting about the Dogma 95 is that it refers to a set of rules that must be followed in order to create the most purest form of cinema. From the first film to which they applied these rules, they broke those rules. So, I'm
looking at this rules and like special lighting and stuff is not acceptable. Like, that sounds like it'd be nearly not impossible, but
it makes it more difficult. Yeah, sure, but oh yeah, and the director must not be credited, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but they break their foot, and it's led to much more professional and well-respected critic Mark Kermode saying that Lars von Trier is a prankster, so you can't ever really trust any of his work, because the validity he shows from the very outset he's willing to break these rules. But I think that sort of makes a point as well. If you say, right, you absolutely have to follow these rules, and in your first film you say, we're doing something different, I think that might be a statement of saying, well, it's art. People could say there are these rules on it, but you don't have to follow them.
Well, that's good. All of art in its entirety, like whatever you qualify as art, like to an extent, there are some video games that I would definitely be like, yep, that art. But I think the most interesting one to me is like the props and sets and stuff you can't bring in, because I'm like, that sounds like a really cheap and easy way to get a real feeling of, like in Red Road when they go to one of the flats and like all the houses and stuff, and they look just like normal houses.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of set designers, I think on some stuff they really struggle to make something feel real. Like, I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Once or twice.
The Burrow is not a real place. I don't believe that could ever exist.
It's a shame, because it's a nice place.
Yeah, it's just too clean, and the stuff that's around is too weird, and the washing up does itself, and fuck you, I want that. I want to be a wizard.
I think what you want is just a dishwasher.
I've got a dishwasher. Yeah, but the dishwasher doesn't stack itself, does it?
No, that's very true.
If they had a dishwasher, they'd just be like, boop, dishes are done.
So yeah, that was a brief history on Dogma
you wanting
95.
to be a wizard.
but I mean, Dogma 95 has its uses. Like, if you want to, it's a good exercise in limitation, and if you've got no budget, it's it can be quite effective. And this is techniques that Red Road employs. So we see Jackie, she works as a CCTV operator around the Red Road flats, which gives our film the name. She's quite quiet, and she quite enjoys. It seems she gets quite a lot of enjoyment out of watching people, and she has these certain human landmarks that she looks out for, doesn't she? Like the chap with the dog who's not very well. She always keeps an eye out for him and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird, because I initially went into this film being like, ooh, this is just a film about voyeurism. That's all this is.
Yeah.
And it's weird, because I went into it just being like, oh, she's probably, through that job, just a bit paranoid anyway.
Yes.
But then she's in this like tiny little space, and I was like, it's like when Lysa Arryn went to the Eyrie and just refused to leave. She's been typecast.
And kept breastfeeding her old son. No.
Well, she definitely doesn't do that in this film.
Well, in a sense. Sorry. Yeah, no, I think if you're looking for a definition of a slow burner, this is 100%. The film sort of just releases very, very infrequently and very subtly just releases little bits of plot. So we see as she goes to the wedding of someone she's not been in contact with, and there's some tension between her and an older man who then transpires is her father-in-law. And there's something going on, and he's saying, you're holding on to him, can we have him back? No, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, to be fair, it was at that point that I was like, ooh, I think her husband's dead.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then,
that was
so that made me sort of go, oh, the person that... Because she sees Clyde through the CCTV.
Yeah.
And then I was just sort of like, oh, but why? What's he done? And then, because it shows him having sex with someone around the back of, like, I don't know, a shop, like a little set of shops.
An arcade, you might call it.
Yeah, and then, so I was like, ooh. And because she was ready to call, like, the police and be like, oh, rape. So I was like, ooh, maybe she was raped. And then it was like, oh, her husband said, oh, maybe this guy killed her husband. And then, so I started to try and like, but it didn't give you enough to really help you understand, which I liked.
Yeah, it sort of asks you to sort of put the pieces together yourself.
Yeah, I mean, eventually it does just kind of go, like, really quite towards the end, it just kind of goes, well, here's the reason, and it's like, okay.
But I think that's absolutely good. When she actually, because it is literal exposition, that she literally says to him, this is what happened, you did this is why my family is no longer around. But I think it completely earns that in the way that you know so little leading up to it, and then when she starts getting closer to Clyde and becomes being pally and then flirty, and then when they eventually have sex, you're thinking, what on earth are you doing? Because you know there's something wrong, you know there's something this guy's done, or there's something about their relationship in the past which for some reason there's just something not quite right about it. I think it completely then earns it to then go, right, this is what's going on.
I mean, first protocol, I thought he was her husband. Like, when she first sees him and just goes, oh, I didn't know he was going to get out. And I was just like, oh, your husband's come out of prison, he's not come to visit you. No, shame. I was...
Well, that would be an equally good film. If she then starts stalking her husband who, you know, says he's still in prison but isn't. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, that's an idea. Off you go and make it happy. We'll cover it on the podcast, it'll be fine.
But yeah, I mean, it's, in terms of plot, like, there's not really much plot. It's just that everything's character development.
Yeah, it's fairly straightforward, really. Like, it's
the development of their sort of relationship, and he clearly doesn't recognise her from the past, so she turns this to her advantage and thinks, right, well, I'm going to get close to this guy and then see. So it's her sort of action, if you like, the you know, is her character. Her action is the development of the character that you see, because I've lost my train of thought there. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, is that where not a lot is happening in terms of, you know, events, you see the gradual creation and maintenance and then development of their relationship, but the whole time you've got this sense of there's something not right here, there's a reason behind what she's doing it, and it's not till right towards the end you start finding out a bit more about it. That is so intriguing. It's such a good almost mystery film.
Yeah, and what, like, the thing that I like is that all throughout the film you see her collecting these little, like, bits and pieces. Like, she picks up a rock. I can't remember, she picks up like a few other bits and pieces, but like throughout the film she's just picking these up and I'm like, I don't understand what these are for, and I was like, oh yeah, she's going to kill him. And then she gets the perfect opportunity to kill him, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. She's gonna seduce him and then fuck him and then run away and leave and then hit herself in the face with a rock.
At what point did you twig that she was trying to stitch him up, trying to frame him?
When she hit herself in the face with a rock.
Yeah, that's where I was like, because I had my sort of suspicions as to what was going on.
I mean,
okay,
also when she emptied the condom.
Yeah, that was a nice scene, wasn't it?
Into her, so I was like, this is no.
But yeah, and then so it comes to, like, after. It's quite an extended sex scene.
Yeah, and
as well, like, it goes on.
I think it's probably more graphic than most of the sex scenes in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah. Oh well, you see both of them completely naked. You are confronted with full frontal nudity from both of them, which is, you know, it's rare. I mean, it's I like that it's gender politics are, you know, equal rights for all. So if she's going to be completely naked, you have to be as well.
Yeah, the thing, like, I think as long as the shot makes sense for the film, I don't really care how many dicks I see.
Yeah, well, it's relevant, I think, and I'm not sure it should be, you know, shied away and hidden.
Well, yeah, because it's always been that it's more of a statement to put a penis on the screen. I'm like, but why?
Yeah, completely, 100%. Yeah. And then you get the scene where his friend Stevie, who we've barely mentioned because he's an arsehole, when he breaks into her house, that's genuinely terrifying. So I had no idea what was going on. You see her wake up and you hear the bang, and then suddenly there's just this movement. You can't quite see what's happened. So I was like, oh no, he knows what's going on. He's going to kill her or something. But she manages to talk him round. Said, look, this is what happened. He killed my daughter. Yeah, because
that's when you first get this is what happened.
Yeah, that's the first mention of confirmation of what it is. Because you have your suspicions. Because there's mention, like I said right at the start, you know, he's come home, he's staying with me. So I was thinking, it's probably ashes or something.
I see that, yeah, as soon as you have the scene with her stepfather, not stepfather, father-in-law.
Father-in-law, yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, her husband's dead. This guy clearly killed him. It's the daughter thing that I was like, oh, did not fucking see that happening.
Yeah.
But then, the end, I found the end really strangely satisfying. That she drops the rape charge, then confronts him, tells him that his daughter was looking for him.
Yeah.
And then
the old boy gets a new dog.
Yes.
That was a very pregnant pause. I really like the ending because I think it's genuinely a really happy ending because, well, for one thing, no one's life can get much worse, but you know, she's confronted the person who's you know ruined her life. She's reunited with his friend, like that scene when she pops around, goes around to her in-laws, and the mother-in-law says, "Oh, come on, I'll put the kettle on." And she sits down and she says, "I'm sorry." And then the only thing she experiences from both of them, where there's been this tension with both of them in that situation, there's just pure warmth. Like she gets a proper hug from mother-in-law, and you can see the father-in-law's getting emotional. It's like, oh right, okay, this is progress. So you can see they all want to move forward. The same goes for her, like you said, telling Clyde that his daughter, his estranged daughter, came to see him. It's like, okay, well you've affected a positive change on his life, even though he is responsible for the death of your family. And I'm not being funny. It was really heartwarming to see that the old guy who she watches carry this dog, and you see previously, like he's got this really fat bulldog and he's not walking very quickly, and it shits on the road, and he picks it up and he's like, oh, is that blood? And he like strokes to it and says, it's alright, come on then. And you see him pick up the dog and put it in the back of a car at one point, but then as she's walking down the street, he comes towards her with a brand new dog. Then he's got a bit more of a spring in his step, and the dog obviously got a bit more life to it. So I think everyone ends out in a slightly more positive way.
Yeah, it's a very sort of like a nosedive into sadness, and then like comes back up into like. I think it's mostly. It seems to be from Kate's point of view, not Kate, Jackie's point of view as a character. It's very much just a story of accepting and moving on when you can, and finding how you deal. This is quite an extreme example of how to deal with loss. But it seems effective.
There are worse ways of dealing with loss. I mean, have you seen an Old Boy? Because Jesus Christ.
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, if you've seen Old Boy, that was a very funny joke.
Well, I haven't, so it wasn't.
Yeah, but for me it was. And for anyone who has seen Old Boy, that was fucking nuts. They're cracking up now. They could barely hear this through their laughter. They can't hear what we're saying right now.
We'll take a minute to let them we'll have a laughter break.
We've never needed one of those before, have we? Jesus Christ.
No, but this time you told a really funny joke.
Thank you very much.
And that doesn't happen often.
Red Road did very well in the Scottish BAFTAs in 2006. It won Best Screenplay, Best Actress in a Scottish Film, Best Actor in a Scottish Film, Best Director, and Best Film. in the Scottish BAFTAs. It got the 2006 Cannes Jury Prize and got the Sutherland Trophy at the London Film Festival for the director of the most original and imaginative first feature film. Which is pretty good. It is good, isn't it? It's very, very good. It's quite a satisfying film to watch because you're watching sort of this, you're piecing together what's going on as it really slowly relinquishes tidbits of story, so you can piece it together.
Yeah, I've also realised I like it. You know, was it? Yeah, last episode we were talking about how much we like static cameras.
Yes.
Turns out I feel pretty much exactly the same way about surveillance cameras in films. I really like that. They're a really good tool.
Have you seen Chronicle? Oh, we went to see Chronicle, didn't we? It was you, me and Jack. We went to see Chronicle. It's the superhero movie about the kids who get superpowers and then film everything they do. And like the last sort of act of that is done on surveillance cameras when they all start fighting. You have no memory of this, do you?
Vaguely, but like it came out like 6 years ago.
Yeah, fair. Well, that's one of the first films that like popped into my mind about surveillance.
Shit, it's got Michael B. Jordan in it.
Yeah. And Dane DeHaan.
Damn.
There is a list on Wikipedia, happily, of films featuring surveillance.
Yeah,
it's quite,
but
it's
I got to B and was like, oh yeah, the Bourne films. Oh, this isn't what I think I want.
You should have gone down to C because Captain America 2's in it.
Oh yeah.
And Fast and Furious 7. Panic Room, that's a great film.
Yeah, Eye in the Sky is really good as well. Is it Eye in the Sky?
Oh, I have meant to watch that since it came out in 2016, I think.
15.
It was 15.
I mean, to be fair, it was the first film that came out after Aaron Rickman died, and I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. Because I think it's his last live-action film.
Yeah, no, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, oh god, I forgot it was that. Wait, if it was after he died, it must have been 2016. He died in 2016.
Well, this says 2015.
Perhaps it came out in America slightly earlier.
Oh, potentially. Potentially. It's actually a really good film.
Bleecker Street distributed the film cinemas in the US.
April 6th, 9th. Oh, God, there's like 7 or 8 months between them coming out in the US and the UK.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Aaron Paul's in it as well, yeah. No, I do need to watch that, actually. I've heard it's quite good, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, I did really like Red Road. It's a sad Scotch film.
Yeah. I think it would be nice if we could watch some happy films.
It would be great if we had a Scottish comedy. That's what...
Well, we've got Billy Connolly. What more do you want from us?
He's fantastic. I've seen him live, and I'm so pleased that I got to see him live. Because he is fucking brilliant.
Well, good for you.
Our next episode of Co-Directors features Sofia Coppola, who is the daughter of Francis Ford Coppola. So there's a good cinematic family pairing there, and her first feature film is called, as we mentioned previously, right at the start of the podcast, The Virgin Suicides. I really, really worried this is going to be another very, very sad
film. The story's theme
film.
of loss.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, no. Oh,
I think it's a sad childhood one again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Come on, people, write happy stuff.
I can't believe I've picked sad films.
I can't believe you've managed to nail it so that pretty much every film sounds like it's going to be horrifically depressing, and then at the end it's Bad Boys.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Iron Giant in there. That's not sad. Whip It, I think, is about roller skating. Alien 3 is fucking Alien. That's going to be quite good.
Roller skating could be sad.
How?
What if it's like Saw, but all the traps are roller skating based, and you just have to kill small animals?
It just sounds like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
It does.
It's Saw, but on roller skates. That would make, obviously the first film, it wouldn't really change the first film because they're only in that bathroom and they can't move anyway. But the second film, that'd be great.
What if it was more like, what was that weird films that was
Go on.
Hostel,
Yeah.
but on roller skates.
I've not seen Hostel, so
It's basically
I can't remember.
Saw, but in a hostel.
Oh, no way.
People are hunting, like basically people pay to hunt them.
Yeah.
So
Like the
you give them
Purge.
roller skates, yeah.
Oh, that would, okay, yeah.
Lot of cheese
now I
wire.
can see that. The Purge, but with roller skates. To be fair, you can get away with wearing skates in the Purge.
I think you could add
do
roller
whatever.
skates to a lot of films and it would change the tone of them.
Duel. If he had roller skates on, he'd really struggle to drive the car.
Instead of a truck, it's just a guy on roller skates.
Just a really fat guy on roller skates. Oh man. Oh, that's a parody.
Wait, what are the films that we've done so far? It would change Ratcatcher. Both the kids would end up in the canal at the beginning. Very short film.
Small time. They just get about a bit quicker.
Yeah, that's why I skipped Small Time. I was like, I don't think it would change it that much.
Blood Simple. I mean, you could kill people and get away with it quicker.
Yeah.
Following it would be great with roller skates because he might not be able to keep up. So
Well, it depends who you give roller skates to. Because if you give them,
Not to everyone, that would be stupid.
if you give them to the follower,
I think we give it to the guy he's following. I can't remember the guy's name, so he just
No,
fucks
another
up and he's
guy.
like, well, this is a short film. American Beauty, you give roller skates to Mina Suvari and Janie, his daughter, because then their cheerleading would go wrong, there'd be a horrific accident and they'd both die, and then you wouldn't have to worry about him getting obsessed.
again, a very short film.
Spinal
What?
Tap, I'm sure there's a bit that someone's on roller skates. Oh no, the waiters at the party, are they on roller skates? No, they're mimes, aren't they? Yeah, they're not on roller skates.
Yeah, but you can give them roller
Tyrannosaur.
skates.
I think with Tyrannosaur, you put the dogs on roller skates so they can get away.
Again, a very short film. I think
Yeah.
essentially what we've decided is that roller skates make films end faster.
Oh god. Anyway, so this has been valuable content. I'm sure everybody's enjoyed this.
Yeah, well, I mean, like
What's-
next week on Code Pilots,
Co-pilots. Go on.
Psychoville and the League of Gentlemen.
That is an absolute cracker. Really enjoyed recording that one.
Yeah,
was
really enjoyed
great.
watching the shows as well. Spoilers.
They do very. We actually watched a couple more Inside Number 9s the other day. We watched Riddle of the Sphinx again. That is so good. I love it. Absolutely love it.
But the dogs.
With the what?
Just the fucking dogs. Just.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
This is when the big one comes in. That's the bit I absolutely lost it, is when the big dog comes in. But
Well, it's
anyway,
when the big dog comes in and then he throws the little one into the window and it dies.
that's the other way round. He throws the little dog. Oh, does he?
I thought.
Yeah, he throws the little dog, and then because
Well, yeah, no, because he closes the door. The other one throws the dog. I can't. Oh shit! I need to
we'll
rewatch
have
it.
to watch it again. Yeah, so thanks for listening. This has been fun. I quite enjoyed this one, even though this one's been another sad one.
Well, I think we've established that all of them are going to be sad, so we just
Yeah.
have to
Grin and bear it.
get through it.
Right, we'll see you next week for more tragedy.
I hope it's not as sad as it sounds.
Bye.
No, I'm not leaving.